Is that real? Is that real? I mean, how heavy is it?
In this video, we are at a couple of thrift stores that had way too much music going on, so we have to do a voiceover. You can see in my arm and see in the clip before that I picked up that lamp. It had just a very few little scuffs in the paint. I was able to mix and match from some paint that I already had to touch up the orange and beige and gold colors that were already on it. I literally did like 10 minutes of touching up and the lamp was good as new. And for $3.99, that thing is heavy as lead, but you better believe I was going to carry that thing around while I looked because I was not going to sit that beauty down for $3.99. I could not believe that. I don't know why they thought that somebody wouldn't want it, but man, it was cool. And I must have just hit that thrift store at just the right time because that little treasure was meant for me and I was so excited to have it. I've had these little Fire King Kimberly type mugs before. The price on those was a little steep for resale, so we put them back. We always look at this perpetual calendar, but it is broken, so we never pick it up, but it is really cool, but who needs a calendar that doesn't work? We also love this baby's face. If her eyelashes had been just slightly longer, I probably would have taken her home with me because she was so cute. We really thought that this nutcracker was super fun. It's super bright and shiny, so it is new. I think it was like a Pottery Barn something or other, or IKEA maybe, heck, I don't know, but it was cute because the tail is the thing that moves the mechanism to crack the nuts. At this place, which is our favorite flea market in a nearby town, we call it our honey hole. They've added a new rummage side, and a lot of it is new stuff and clothing, which we don't really tend to gravitate towards. But there is always some vintage stuff sprinkled around, like these little juice cups and these sake cups here. I was interested in, but they were too chippy even for 25 cents. The mister picked up that cute candle holder, but it was only one. I like to usually get a pair. I really loved these dishes because they look like they are cross-stitched or embroidered. However, they're just ceramic, but they were also too chippy. The mister pointed out this really cute, like fleur-de-lis vase or decanter. I'm not sure. It was new though. I did love that topper in the green glass, but again, it was new, so I couldn't pick that up. And I love the shape of the handles on these mugs, but they were new too. And I thought this was funny. This is a little photo album, and on the front in gold, it says our daughter's wedding. And I thought that was very specific, and it's very small. I think I left that behind because it was so specific, but it was really cute. I would say it was probably 80s or 90s. But I left it behind because that's pretty dang specific. I guess it could have been a gift idea, but I left it behind. And we liked this desk cube here. I'm not sure what that would be for, unless it was like an intercom system, but thought that was a cool little find. This next place that we went to, we saw on their social media, Instagram, Facebook, they had a reel that was kind of going viral, and it looked like the coolest vintage market slash mall. It's called Logan Village Mall, and it's in Noblesville, which we go to all the time, and we had never seen it there or even noticed it. And one of our favorite stores is right around the corner. So we were excited to try it out this day. We were a little disappointed to find that it was not vintage. There was maybe a handful of booths that were vintage, but regardless, the place is cool. The whole little mall is set up to feel like you're walking down a city street, and each little booth is like a new shop. So it had some really cute little architecture details and some fun little finds, but mostly it was, like chalk painted furniture, reimagined furniture, new stuff, crafty things. Not a whole lot of vintage, but there was some sprinkled here and there. So we kept looking, gave it a whirl. I'm going to show you here shortly. One of the next couple of booths that we walk into is, I think they have every single mid-century modern item in the whole of Indiana, because it's just like so curated. It's just perfect. This one right here, I couldn't get over it. They had music blaring, so of course we couldn't give you our real reactions because we would get a copyright strike if we let that music play. But boy, it was so fun. That couch in the background. That final chair we'll give you a better look at here in just a second. On the side, I'm looking at that lamp up in the top right corner. You find those shades, I feel like, all the time. And I don't know if the flower and the lines on that were original, but that would be such a cute way to dress up those shades. I feel like you find those shades all the time. They're a dime a dozen, easy to find. They're not that exciting, but just a little bit of paint, big groovy flower, and a couple of like random abstract lines, and you could really dress up a shade like that, and it would feel like it still came from the era. I thought that was so cool. Of course, the tension lamp, it's in immaculate condition. I have drop ceiling, so I can't have tension things unless they fit and sit just right on the tracks between tiles. And here we are looking at that couch. That frise is in the most perfect condition. There was not a rip, stain, tear, thread out of place on that beautiful thing. It almost like it came out. We didn't test it. It might have been more like a click clack. And then I love that vinyl chair that matched it. We also thought it was really fun to find a Lane cedar chest, obviously vintage, not necessarily my style, but we thought that the covered padded bench on top was cool. And I love this cone-shaped lamp. I thought it was so cute how it went back when you pushed it in and came down when you pulled it out. I thought that was so, so cute with the gold on there. They had retail prices on everything, which I don't blame them, but it was super fun to look. I've had this exact ashtray before, and I'm pretty sure I sold it to a lady on Highway 127 yard sales. Super fun to find those kind of ashtrays. I can't get over that pink lamp with that cute gold like harness on it. It's so cute. They just had everything at this booth. It was so good. All the clock radios, all the lamps, all the furniture. It was just such a fun place. So if you're ever in the area, you should check it out if you're into that style because boy, that was a great collection. This booth next door was more boho kind of 70s hippie vibes, less 60s atomic era and more macrame and wood tones. Some of the coolest lamps in there. I always look at these little cryptomeria owls. And of course, they had some lucite napkin holders. I love those cryptomeria owl eyes. They're so cute. I have a lucite napkin holder similar to this, and I was telling the mister about it in lime green. And this one was cute because it was orange and yellow. It was very bright and fun, really cute. And I almost flipped my lid over this giant macrame hanging table. I mean, if I had a space in my house for that, you better believe it would have been hanging in there. I thought that was so cool. And how much time would that take? And also Peep the Philco in the corner there. How cool is it that they have that cool TV with the bubble screen? I love that. I have recently sold this little turtle. I thought he was really cute. He's very groovy. And then as we round the corner here, I'm telling the mister a story about that orb lamp that's hanging in the window. My friend Haley and I went to a store a while back and they had $20 on that kind of lamp. And I hemmed and hawed and was like, where would I put it? I don't want to do it. Maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. I didn't get it. And when we went back 3 months later, they had the same lamp in the same booth and they had upped the price to $68. So I should have bought it at 20 the first time I was in there. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, I guess. The things that haunt you in your vintage shopping days. So here we are just continuing on through the rest of the mall. Look how cute the address book is. That groovy, like iridescent print on there is so cute. But again, a little steep for resale, but still really, really cute. If I needed an address book, I totally would have picked that up for myself. I loved how it felt like you were walking down like a cobblestone street, and every place was kind of looking like its own little individual shop. I was loving this because I can crochet, and those are just double crochets. It would be super easy to add that to any knitted sweater. A lot of the booths did have some really cute, funky clothing. They were not old vintage clothes. They were new, but they had like kind of a vintage style. So it was fun to meander around. We popped into this little booth because the mister is kind of embarking on a woodworking hobby. So it was interesting to see what people have done, what they've created, and and what they're listing their pieces for, to kind of see, what the masses want, what they're interested in, and what they would pay for certain items that the mister knows how to make. So we thought that all of this stuff was really, really cool. Person who made this must have been extremely handy. This table in the center, I'll show you here in just a second. See, these edges are really cool. Those are really thin wood slats that they've bent to create that and then cut out a notch just to put those in. It's amazing. It's so handy. I could never, but the mister can, and that's really cool. The love signs, we always love those little love shelves and signs and doodads. The person who created that art in that shape is from a local town, so we always like to see that love style. Mister liked this broody vibe place. We love this little booth. That's one person's art glass projects. It's fused glass, all of them just like fused pieces together. Really cool that someone is still creating those. Obviously, I always look for pressed glass or fused glass in vintage items, but it's really cool to know that there are artisans still creating that kind of glass now. I think that's so neat. Here, the mister is showing you how this place is set up with the little balconies, the windows, the curtains, the siding in all different colors. We were noticing that this booth was empty, so he was teasing me that it could be the new home of Fickle Mama Vintage. And I would be one of only a couple of actual vintage items in that mall, so maybe I should think about it. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.